270 Olympic sailing hopefuls from 38 nations clash in Abu Dhabi for the ISAF World Cup season final. Vestas Team hits the reef north of Mauritius in Leg 2 of the Volvo Ocean Race. Sebastien Destremau with the story and the drama. Ocean Pros Lagravière and Cammas face off on the F-18s for a challenging Cat Cup in Saint Barth. Brazil delivers more surfing talent as Deivid Silva wins the International Surfing Festival in Hainan, China. NC Sports, plunge into the action. They came to Abu Dhabi from around the globe. 270 sailors from 38 nations. All 10 Olympic classes were on call, plus a special kiteboarding event, a huge precedent for this specific discipline, seeking a spot at the 2020 Tokyo Games. This is the 2014 ISAF World Cup final, and with a fleet limit of 20 boats per class, it's one highly selective regatta, with $200,000 as total prize money for the top 3 finishers in each class. An 8 to 12 knot northwesterly breeze swept the course for the last day of racing, and in men's RSX, Louis Giard battled with Byron Kokalanis all the way to the medal race, where the Frenchman secured his gold with a victory. Greece would settle for silver, while Nick Dempsey secured the bronze for Great Britain. With a huge 20-point lead, Briony Shaw got the better medal back to the UK in the ladies RSX, and that against some super pros like Frances Charlene Picon and Blanca Manchon of Spain, respectively in second and third places. Big surprises in women's 470s with Lara Badla and Jolanta Ogar taking the gold for Austria ahead of Britain's Wegelin McIntyre and Japanese duo Yoshida Yoshioka. Matt Belcher and Will Ryan didn't miss a shot for their World Cup gold in men's 470s and were seriously challenged by arch rivals Vantes and Kagalis from Greece, 8 points behind in silver, and Americans McNay and Hughes with the bronze. Tom Burton went virtually unrivaled in the men's laser and clinched a victory for Australia ahead of Croatia's Stepanovic and Bernard from France, while Evie Van Acker took a precious first place for Belgium in the laser radial, followed by Tenkanen of Finland and Denmark's Rindom. Slovenia got her gold in the Finn, with Vasilis Bogar chased by Croatian Klijakovic and the USA's Payne. An awesome Team France filled the podium for the new NACRA 17 Olympic class for mixed gender crews, with Besson and Rioux taking the gold after their escapade at the Cat Cup in Saint Barth. Ogoho and Van Damme took the silver, and bronze went to Perrault and Odinet. In the fast-paced 49ers, Polish team Januszewski Nowak had a close fight with Spain's Pass and Pass to sail away with the gold, with bronze going to Britain's Pink and Bittel. No major surprises in the ladies' 49er effects, with Molly Meach and Alexandra Maloney securing the top spot in front of Sweden's Eriksson Klinga and Italy's crew Conti Klapčić. British victory in the much-awaited Formula Kite event as Oliver Bridge took the very first ISAF gold in the discipline, followed by Maxime Nocher of France and Spain's Florian Tritel. More ISAF sailing from Melbourne, coming up on the next NC Sports editions.
You're watching the Selling Updates Desktop News. Welcome to the office. A very sad office today, as our thoughts are with the 9 guys that lost their beautiful racing boat on a tiny reef near Mauritius.
The 1510 UTC Team Vestas Wind contacted the race control and informed us that they had run aground on a reef on the St. Brandon archipelago, about just over 200 nautical miles northeast of Mauritius.
Being the nearest boat, Team Alvi Medica is immediately ordered by race control to rush to the scene and assist in any way possible.
and we're checking in with them on a regular schedule and monitoring their situation, and we're prepared to help in any way we can.
However, the location is not an easy one, and Alve Medica has to be very careful, as explained by the navigator, Will Oxley.
In agreement with Nico, we went around into the lagoon area, dropped our sails, and very nervously motored in using the sounder to get as close as we could. And we could see the flashing lights on the life rafts, and they could see our mast light, and we were able to, every 30 minutes, have a radio contact, and we think that made a big difference to their night.
For Vestas Team, trying to hang on onto a boat taking a massive pounding of the waves must have been one of the longest nights in their life.
It was never, ever my intention to get off the boat in the dark. Did not want to do it. Unfortunately, when we hit the reef, it was just after, was just on dark, so we had to spend, I think we spent about 7 or 8 hours in the dark trying to hang on till daylight.
Right through the night, the crew practiced the drills of getting off the vessel, and just before daylight, Nico has no option but to make the heartbreaking call: abandon ship.
When you talk about the tough decisions you have to make in life, and that was I would have to say that was number one for me. It's one of those ones where, okay, we hit the rocks and we had massive damage, and the immediate concern was just for people to be able to hang on, buy ourselves time till the situation got better. And by that, the situation got getting better. Basically, the boat has to destroy itself and end up more up on the rocks and out of the breaking waves.
The shipwrecked crew are now safe on their Indian Ocean reef, and although highly unlikely, one can only hope to see this beautiful blue boat back on the racetrack in the very near future. As for Nico, being a skipper can sometimes be a very lonely job.
A high-ranking roster of multi-hull pros met in the Caribbean for the 2014 edition of the Saint Barth Cat Cup, including Pros Lagravière, as well as Olympic duo Billy Besson and Marie Rioux. A fleet of 51 F-18 class catamarans battled it out in 5 regattas in this 7th year of an event that has now become yet another classic on this paradise island. The first days of the competition were extremely challenging, with crews facing winds in the 15 to 20 and even 30 knot range, and coupled by 2-meter waves, which is no joke on a 6-meter catamaran, and the capsizes were in order. In a welcome sideshow from the regular season, the very best were soon on top. Cammas and Lagravière immediately began trading places in first and second, and in a decisive last regatta, Morgan and Baumann Arnaud Charleguin ultimately managed to pull ahead of Frank and partner Mathieu Van Damme for the overall victory. France's Olympians on the Nacra 17, Besson and Rioux, did struggle with the pace of the two leaders, but still managed to hang on to the third spot against a strong pack of international contenders. China's Hainan became a global surfing epicenter last week, as both the ASP and the ISA, the two main authorities in the sport, joined their efforts for the Wanning-Riue Bay International Surfing Festival. The Brazilian school keeps forging more new, young, talented surfers, and with a victory here, Deivid Silva is but the latest example. Compatriot Caio Ibelli won here last year, and this is his very first career win in an ASP qualifying series event, the gateway to the pro circuit on the World Championship Tour. Silva immediately controlled the final heat against Peru's Miguel Tudela, hitting first with a series of backhand whips and carves for a 9.1, and then following up with a 6.43. Now the 19-year-old from Guraja is ranked 85th in the ASP qualifying series.
Tô muito feliz. Primeiramente, quero agradecer a Deus.
First of all, I want to thank God. It's hard to explain. I'm very happy. I want to thank my family, my girlfriend, my sponsors. Thanks to all of you for your support. It's also great to be here in China for the second time. And this time I came to win. I'm very happy.
Pela segunda vez e vim agora aqui para ganhar. Tô muito feliz.
Tudela on his side managed a 6.77 and 8.33 to finish just a 0.43 behind Silva, but still had a great season in 2014, clinching this huge second place after winning the gold medal here with Team Peru for the ISA China Cup just a week before. Australia's Dave Lovelock also closed in a most respectable third place, especially after the serious injury in the quarterfinal that forced him into a painful semi-final match versus Tudela with a broken finger. It's finally here. The Paris Nautique 2014 is opening its gates from this Friday, December 6th to Sunday the 14th at the Porte de Versailles. One of the world's greatest boat shows is waiting for you with the latest releases in sail and power, all the accessories, the very latest tech, and so much more. Nautical crews will be on the spot for exclusive coverage and insight, so you won't miss a thing. Stay tuned for special programming coming up this January. Yes, there's more Olympic sailing coming your way. Get the full picture from the ISAF World Cup final in Abu Dhabi, complete with extended race highlights, winners' comments, and insight. It's all on the next NC Sports Top Story, premiering this Saturday at 5 p.m. only on Nautical Channel. Plunge into the action with NC Sports.